What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, I'm going to discuss the breakdown video of Gervonta Davis versus Mario Barrios for the 140-pound WBA regular junior welterweight championship. So Mario Barrios undefeated at that weight class. He is the champion, the secondary champion of the WBA. And Gervonta Davis is technically moving up to try to win a championship in a third different weight class. And he's trying to do that while he still holds titles at both 130 and 135, which is junior lightweight and lightweight. It's 10 pounds in between fights, so 2 weight class jump in between fights, because he technically moved down to 130 and defended his 135 belt and knocked out Leo Santa Cruz in his last fight to capture the 130-pound belt that Santa Cruz had. And now in between fights, he's jumping up 10 pounds, 2 weight classes to take on the undefeated Mario Barrios. So, interesting matchup right here. It's going to be on Showtime PPV on Saturday, June 26th. So, don't miss out on it. Also, guys, remember the True Boxing Podcast. I'm hitting everybody tomorrow with that, which is the 15th of June. And that's episode 2. We're going to do a breakdown of Floyd Mayweather. So, listen live on YouTube or catch it the next day on YouTube. Just check out the video and listen to it. But all that being said, let's get into the breakdown of this fight. So in the breakdown videos, guys, as you know already, if you watch my breakdowns, I ask some questions. I ask, what kind of style does each fighter need to have to win the fight? What kind of, in my opinion, what can each fighter win by knockout? Can each fighter win by decision? Then I ask the question of, what does it do for the fighter and what does it do for boxing if they win, and what does it do for the fighter and what does it do for boxing if they lose? And then after that, I give my prediction on the fight itself. So as always, I start with the favorite in the fight, and that is the undefeated Gervonta Davis. So Tank Davis, a lot of power, has some skill, has some very good skill, and a lot of people are talking him up to be the future of boxing, one of the faces of boxing. He's definitely a star. He's on pay-per-view trying to sell this fight. It's going to be a tough sell right here because Mario Barrios is not well known, but Davis, if he can continue to be impressive, then he's going to keep bringing viewership in no matter what. And that's kind of up in the air on this one. How he's going to look, because he's moving up into a new weight class. He's only fought once technically above 130 pounds. He came in overweight a couple times over 130, but his opponent always was on weight. He's only fought one fight above 130 where his opponent was on weight, and that was at 135 lightweight against the 38, 39-year-old Yuriorkis Gamboa in December of 2019, where he got a 12th round TKO in a fight where Gamboa pretty much blew out his ankle in the second round and somehow stayed on his feet, and Davis still couldn't stop him after that. Excuse me. So Davis now, the question is what does he need to do to win this fight? What style does he need to have? Well, I don't think he can be the super aggressive fighter he was against Leo Santa Cruz. Let's be honest. Santa Cruz started off at 115, 118 pounds, 4-division world champion, moved all the way up to 130 to capture a world title. Now, he laid him out in the 6th round. Davis did. Laid out Santa Cruz impressively. But is Santa Cruz a legitimate 130-pounder? No, he started at the lower weights. Mario Barrios is a legitimate 140-pounder across the board. This is the biggest guy that Davis has ever fought and will ever fight to this point. So, I don't think he can bum rush Mario Barrios. I think in the first round, he can take a couple risks to see what kind of punches, how Barrios takes his power. But if Gervonta Davis is smart, he's going to box. He's going to use that southpaw angle. He's going to box and, not mix it up. He's going to break down Mario Barrios if he's smart. A body attack combinations and moving back and using the angles. Let Barrios be the aggressor and just pick him off as he's coming in. If he can do that, I think he has a big chance of winning this fight. Now, can he win this fight by knockout? And the truth is I don't know. I think it's possible, I guess, but I haven't seen his power at 140. If he fights the style that I think he should fight, which is break down a boxing style and set up the knockout, I think he might be able to wear down Mario Barrios and stop him in the later rounds. But I don't believe we're gonna see an early knockout unless he really catches him cold, and he's got to take a risk to really catch him cold. So I don't believe we'll see an early one or even towards the middle rounds. I think it's coming more towards the later middle rounds and the later rounds of the fight. But we got to see what happens. But I do believe he can win by knockout. I just don't know, if he's going to get that. Now, can he win a decision? Yeah, I think he's the more skillful fighter. I think he can outbox Mario Barrios, and I think he can definitely win a decision in this one. Okay, what does it do for Gervonta Davis, and what does it do for boxing if he wins this fight? Well, for Gervonta Davis, it's good. On paper, he technically becomes a 3-division world champion, even though he's winning the secondary belt of that weight, of the WBA, which doesn't really mean much. But on paper, he's going to be able to sell that going forward. So, if he wins this fight, I think just the fact that he's moving up to challenge, whatever way he wins this fight is going to be acceptable because he moved up so much weight. He's kind of in a, he can't lose as long as he wins kind of deal in terms of the public. Like, the public can't really look at him negative because he could say, hey, I rolled the dice to win a 3rd championship and the guy was too big for me if he wins the fight. So that should be his goal, just to win the fight here. And I think he's going to go for that. So, and that'll be enough for him. Now, what does it mean for boxing if he wins this fight? It's good for boxing. Davis is a young star. He's backed by, the infamous Floyd Mayweather Jr., who still draws a lot of attention to the sport. So, that's a good thing, for boxing if Gervonta Davis continues to win. And especially if he does win impressively, because then people are going to keep tuning in no matter who he fights, just like they do for Canelo. He's a budding star and he has potential, but he has to win. And and if he wants it to be big for boxing, he's got to win impressively. So that's Gervonta Davis' side of it. Let's look at the underdog, the undefeated Mario Barrios. Well, Barrios, he's stayed active, but the guy really hasn't fought anybody even close to Gervonta Davis's level. Not even close. So it's a big step up in terms of just elite type fighter. Now, his advantage in this one is size. Big time, it's size. He's way bigger than anybody Davis has ever fought in his career. So what kind of style does Barrios need to have to try to win this fight? My opinion is he needs to charge at Gervonta Davis in the first 2 or 3 rounds, really put pressure on him and see and let Davis hit him with a shot and see how he takes it. If he gets hurt, back off and try something else. But if he doesn't get hurt and he but he doesn't need to be balls out leaving his chin exposed, but if he's coming forward trying to smother Gervonta Davis and really put the pressure on him and wear him down and beat him up, I think that's the kind of style that Barrios should have, because Barrios also young and undefeated, and he's hungry. So he's trying to make a name for himself. So I say if I'm Barrios, I'm throwing caution to the wind because I'm the underdog anyways, and I'm going right at Gervonta Davis. Right at him and try to wear him down and beat him up and get your career best win, because it would be if he does. So that's the kind of style I think Barrios needs to put into play in order to win this fight. Now, what does can Mario Barrios win by knockout? Yeah, I think he can. Davis, I've never seen Gervonta Davis hurt, but he's never fought a big guy like Mario Barrios. Barrios does have power, and he's a big dude. So I think one of two ways. Barrios can hurt him, or Barrios can wear him down with his style and his size and possibly stop him in the middle of the later round. So, yeah, I think Barrios can win by knockout. Can Barrios win a decision? I don't know about that one. I think if it's a size advantage and he just wears down Davis and presses him and Davis can't handle the size difference, then yeah, I think he probably could win a decision that way. But I think because Davis is so much more technically sound, in my opinion, right now anyways, that I think it's going to be hard to win a decision, but I'm not ruling it out. He might be able to wear him down and beat him up and because of the size difference. So, yeah, but I think more of a knockout win for Barrios if he wins this fight. So what does it do for Barrios? What does it do for boxing if Barrios wins this fight? Well, for Barrios, it's huge. It's the biggest win of his career. He becomes pretty much a big star overnight. He's already been hitting the undercards and doing well, entertaining, all that stuff. But he becomes a star overnight, knocking out Gervonta Davis, or beating him. So that would be big. What does it do for boxing? I mean, it kind of just, it takes away the Mayweather-esque type superstar on the rise, and it gives you another superstar on the rise in Mario Barrios. It's not all bad, but I think Davis is better for boxing right now, but it's not all bad for boxing if Barrios pulls this off. Now, for both fighters, I didn't do the one on Davis, the next question. What does it do for Davis? What does it do for boxing if he loses to Barrios? If Davis loses to Barrios, it's bad for Davis. That's the first loss of his career, but it's not, depending on how he loses, it's not the worst thing of his career. Because here's why. Look what happened to Jorge Linares when he moved up to 140 and got knocked out against Pablo Cesar Cano in the first round. Linares still came back down and was a threat at 135. He rolled the dice, he took the chance trying to win a championship in another weight class, and it didn't work out for him, And for Gervonta Davis, it's the same kind of thing. He can always move back down to 135. He made 130 like it was nothing for the fight with Santa Cruz. So, it's a test to see how good he really is there. So I don't think it's going to kill him if he loses this fight to Barrios, to be honest. Of course it's going to hurt. Of course it's going to hurt him personally to lose a fight, but I don't think it's going to kill his career or be necessarily bad for him. Is it bad for boxing if he loses? Yeah, it is, because he's a star on the rise and people want to continue to see their stars improve and get better, and keep being a star. But it's not the worst thing either. Now for Barrios, what does it do for Barrios? What does it do for boxing if Barrios loses? For Barrios, it's not going to be the end of the world. I don't think a lot of people are expecting him to win. So, and he's never been tested against any other elite fighter. So I don't think it's really going to hurt him all that much. People aren't expecting him to win. He's never been tested. I think it's going to be chalked up as he was too green for really an elite and a star fighter in Gervonta Davis. So I don't think it's really going to affect him and hurt his resume going forward after that. Of course, a loss always hurts, but it would be his first, and it would be against an elite fighter in a fight nobody's expecting him to win. So not the worst of things. Now, for boxing, I mean, it's not bad if Barrios loses. I think it's, like I said, I think it's worse if Davis loses for boxing than Barrios, but it's not bad for boxing. Nobody's, most people aren't expecting Barrios to win this fight, and, he'll just keep chugging and moving forward, and boxing, it's not really going to hurt boxing at all. So now the big question. What's my prediction on the fight? Who wins the fight between Gervonta Davis and Mario Barrios? Will Davis win a championship in his third weight class, or will Mario Barrios pull off the upset and become a star overnight? Well, my answer, it's not an easy one, but I'm predicting Gervonta Davis to win this fight by a decision. I think it's possible that he could wear down Barrios and stop him, but I think because he's moving up so much weight, I think he's smart to be cautious. I think Mayweather's going to talk to him and work with him on being smart and being cautious and boxing, setting up your power shots, wear the guy down, try to stop him in the late rounds. If not, walk away with a clean decision, and it's just as good because he moved up so much weight. I don't think he's going to have the mentality going into this fight thinking he has to knock Mario Barrios out. He might say that, though, but I don't think that's going to be the game plan. So, you know, I do believe Barrios is a live underdog. He's got the size advantage, and he's also young and smart. And if Davis overlooks him or is not disciplined like he's been in the past, you never know what could happen. But even if Davis is fully focused, we have not seen him against a real 140-pounder, and maybe Barrios is a legitimate, we just don't know, but maybe he is on that level, an elite level, and we're going to see. But I'm predicting Gervonta Davis by a decision. I know that's a safe pick, but I'm predicting that. I wouldn't be surprised if he stopped him. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Barrios were to come out and upset and stop Gervonta Davis. So we got to see. But that's the breakdown video for Gervonta Davis versus Mario Barrios for the 140-pound Junior Welterweight Championship, taking place Saturday, June 26th on Showtime Pay-Per-View. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been here with the truth.